Hello everyone, gshock here. Today I'm gonna disassemble this GBD-200 G-Shock watch, which I've been wearing for about 2 months time. So it's time to clean it up. So there's a lot of dirt which you guys can see, but when I show you guys the close up, then it's gonna be obvious. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to learn how to change the band, the wing, this band keeper, the bezel, change the battery on the inside. Basically, clean your G-Shock watch up. Or if you want to know how to fix this in the future, maybe this video will be coming handy just a little bit. So I'm gonna start by removing all 4 screws that's locking the wing, the band, and also the bezel at the same time, which is using a hex screw of 1.5mm. So let's get to it. Well, this is not the first time I'm doing this whole thing, and that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of scratch on these 4 screws, because I've been customizing this watch beforehand, and here are some of the parts that I'll be using. By the end of this video, I'll be swapping the bezel and also this, I'm gonna call this thing wing, into this watch, and I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. But first, before we get to customization, just so you know, a quick comparison to the previous generation GBD-100. So this is the GBD-200, by the way, just in case you're new. And here's the band and also the wing. I already removed the one on this GBD-100. I haven't swapped the battery yet, but first and foremost, it's not the same. Even though they are from the same family, the parts aren't the same at all. Even though they look kind of the same, but they're not the same. Including the screws. So this is the GBD-100. This is the GBD-200. Notice even the screws aren't the same shape at all. Including this wing. Let me take this one out. There you go. It is pretty flexible, alright, but pretty stiff. This is how this 200 look like. This is the 100 series looks like. Look at the center portion. This part is wider than the one over here. This is the hard case for the GBD-100. You cannot use this wing in here because the lug design and everything aren't the same at all. And also, if you want to change the band, let's say from this GBD-100 into the GBD-200, you cannot plug it in as well, even though they kind of look the same, but yeah, the design aren't the same. And you cannot recycle the parts on any of this 100 series into the 200 series. So if you have a spare parts laying around, you can't use them. You only have to rely on new, later in the future when they were made available, 200 series parts, and then you could start modding your G-Shock watch up. But so far, if you want to change the band, I mean, this is indeed a sport watch, which will be exposed to a lot of dirt and sweat. This is the step, okay? If you want to take this one out, just flex up and over. I still can't find a best safe way to remove this kind of buckle. It's just pinned in there. So I wish you guys could recommend down in the comment section if there a safer way to do it. So I'm not gonna remove this thing yet, especially when it is made out of plastic. Sure, this thing gonna break. So I'm not going to do that in this video, apologize for that, but so far, here is how you change the wing and also the band. Next part, the movement of the watch. I can't remove the bezel yet because there's a 4 more screw that's locking it, which I'll show you guys later, but to get to that, we have to remove the back plate of the watch. So this is where the step where you're gonna need to take if you want to perform a battery swap for your G-Shock watch later, because this is not solar powered. It has Bluetooth function, so it's gonna drain a lot of battery. So let's get to it. For this video, I'm not going to disassemble this thing because it's too time consuming, but I'll show you guys how to change the battery, which is again exactly the same like any G-Shock watch out there, most of them at least. Just unclip this and then take the battery out. It is operating on, let's see now, CR2032, which is accessible. I mean, you could buy about $1 for 5 pieces. So this thing is very affordable by anyone. Plug this thing back in there, clip this thing, follow the instructions. Can also just, I mean, literally show how to change the battery, this step at least, how to change the battery, perform this AC operation using the tweezers, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna put this movement aside, and now we'll carry on to the bezel disassembly, which, well, was held on by these 4 buttons on the side. This front light button doesn't matter, doesn't disturb anything. So I'm just gonna quickly go through this process, remove this E-clip. I'll show you guys the close-up as always, so you guys could have a rough idea how to do this. You could rotate the E-clip facing downward first, and then just push it downwards. That is the best way to do it. It's a lot safer. It's not gonna fly anywhere because you're actually forcing it downwards. Even if it flies, it's still gonna be around in the movement, so you're not gonna lose it. Okay. The main concern here is when you placing it back in, so that is the tricky part. Removing it is very easy. The button was designed to contour the shape of the bezel over here. There we go. So there's this 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that is holding the bezel from the inside. Alright, I already removed the screw, 4 screws, but notice that I still cannot take this bezel out because there's 3 spikes that is holding it. Now I have to flex this bezel up and over the casing, and alright, there we go. Now I could take it off. Notice how hard it is for me to do that, which really shows how unnecessary it is to lock with these 4 screws. If you don't want to customize your watch, if you just want to clean it up, you don't have to go through this whole process ever again. Just remove this portion here. If you want to cut this out from your original G-Shock, by all means just do it. So that is all for this G-Shock watch in particular. And if you want to know anything else, just comment down below. I'll try to help you out with your questions. I'll answer what I know. If I don't know, then I'll just leave it for someone else to help out. But so far, this is how you mod or customize or clean or change the battery on your G-Shock watch, or replace parts if anything bad ever happened to your model later in the future. Shout out to Buyee.jp for sponsoring this video as well. All details will be available down in the description box as always. Thank you very much for watching, and see you guys in my next video.